How's it going, everybody? Andy McCullough from the Los Angeles Times here with Bill Plaschke, also from the Los Angeles Times. We're here to talk about the 9-5, was it 9-5?
9-5.
9-5 Dodgers victory over the Diamondbacks in the first game of the National League Division Series. You know, Dylan, this was a game that, if you look at kind of the strat of the series and the way that the D-backs line up their pitching with Robbie Ray going to game 2, Zach Greinke going to game 3, the Dodgers really, I don't want to say needed to win this game, but winning this game makes life so much easier for them setting up for the rest of the series.
Yeah, I mean, this was kind of a tone setter, and that's why, like, I kind of come out of this with mixed feelings. You know, I think that 7th inning doesn't happen for Clayton Kershaw.
Correct.
I think you leave this game feeling a lot better, like, hey, we got our ace going, and I don't know, in retrospect, you know, I think he started the inning with, 92 pitches.
Yeah.
You know, it felt like a kind of a good point to cut it off. I mean, he was never quite Kershaw.
No.
It felt like throughout the night, you know, obviously, as everybody's kind of pointed out, he's very reliant on that fastball.
Right.
If it were just one game, you could kind of isolate it and say, you know what, this is just, this happens once in a while. But put it in the context of the last month, the last 5 starts that he had in the regular season, I think you kind of start wondering, okay, you know what, is he kind of, you know, I hate to say just another pitcher, but...
Well, I have a counter for that. I actually think what happened in the 7th inning is a lesson, and if they take the lesson from it, it's super important. And it's like, look, we can sit here talking about how fantastic Clayton Kershaw is, you know, and fill up as much, I mean, digital memory as possible. Clayton Kershaw is the best pitcher in the sport, but right now he is a bit diminished. I mean, you can see it in the way he's executing his off-speed stuff. It's been an issue since he came back. You know, he's been more homer prone than ever, whether it's from the balls being juiced, you know, whether it's from exit, launch, angle, velocity, all that stuff. I mean,
that's what you're going with?
Well, here's the thing. Baseball's not really baseball anymore. Jeff Mathis hit a home run off Clayton Kershaw. I mean, it's ridiculous, you know? So the Dodgers, there's a lesson here. You can't treat Clayton Kershaw like it's 2013, 2014 anymore. It's 2017. The game's different. He's different. Teams know more about him. And if they can learn that lesson, I think it's actually really, really important for them going forward.
We kind of go back to what Rich Hill was talking about before the game, and he spoke very beautifully, I thought, about Kershaw. You
I like how you're in the tank for Rich Hill.
I am in the tank for Rich Hill. You know, but he basically kind of talked about how, you know, a guy like Kershaw really puts himself out there, right? He puts himself out in a position to fail to succeed, and that requires like a certain fearlessness, right? And I think that you know, like even like today, like I think we saw that, right? He comes out firing in the first inning. I think the team kind of fed off that.
Absolutely.
You know, it obviously helped that the other pitcher was really scared, but you know.
By the way, shout out to us for like totally seeing that coming. That's why you should read the Los Angeles Times, because we know. I mean, it wasn't that hard to discern. The guy couldn't even watch a baseball game on Wednesday. I don't know why we thought he would pitch well in a game on Friday.
Yeah, but anyway, you know, so we're talking about that type of personality, that type of character, and I do wonder, you know, if it's a one-run game and your choices are like Pedro Baez and Cingrani and Watson or Clayton Kershaw.
But here's the thing is, though, it's like at some point, with the way he's pitching now, with the way the game is now, with the way balls seem to disappear when he throws them now, will they understand that maybe the gap between a tired Clayton Kershaw and Tony Cingrani isn't that sizable anymore?
It could
in a way that in 2013 it was different. You know, he was clearly a better option than Pedro Baez or whatever. He is Clayton Kershaw. He's still as good as it gets, but he's not the guy he was. Even at the start of last year, it's there in the numbers. You know, the production is not the same, and it's a hard thing to admit, and it's a hard thing to, you know, deal with. And you know, it's not like he's not trying. It's not like he cares more than anyone else on the field. But at some point, you have to understand that he has to be managed a little more like the other guys.
It could just be that I'm like super fatalistic, and I think
we've
that
established
if it's going to kind of end bad, how can I live with it the best?
Good news. Viewers, we are all going to die at some point. My column by Dylan Hernandez.
So, no, all right, and if you're going to lose it, I kind of would rather lose with Clayton Kershaw on the mound than I would with like Tony Watson.
Yeah, but again, like it's the challenge of managing Clayton Kershaw, right? Is in that you can always, it's the easy way out. You can always say, well, I got Clayton Kershaw out there, I'm going with him. And at some point you have to take the ball from him. And we'll see in this postseason if, you know, they learn the lesson from the 7th inning tonight. I mean, I really think that when you see Jeff Mathis, a guy who on no planet should be hitting balls hard off Clayton Kershaw, is putting them in the seats, that the way the game is now, the way Kershaw is now, he has to be managed a little more carefully. So we'll see. You know, maybe they'll lose the next 3 games, and you know, this will all just be ridiculous, or maybe they'll sweep. Who knows? It's baseball. Thank you for watching. You can follow on the coverage on latimes.com/Dodgers. You can follow me on Twitter at McCullough Times. Don't follow Dylan on Twitter. Have a great night.